What's going on, YouTube? And it's been like 2 days, man. I've been like, hurting to come on here. So now I'm here. So now let's get down to business. A couple things happened. But before I get into what these couple things happened, I want to introduce you to a good friend of mine. Now, this friend has always told me the truth. Never lied to me. When I was down, told me the truth. When I was happy, told me the truth. And every day I ask this friend for advice. And I would say since I've been a kid, this friend had gave me the 100% truth every time. Now I'm going to introduce him. When I introduce him, I want to say that this friend also exists in your life. Now let me introduce you. This is my friend. It's called the mirror. Because one thing about the mirror is the mirror never lies. Never lies. If you're fat, the mirror's going to let you know. If you're broke, the mirror's going to let you know. If you have a low self-esteem, the mirror's going to let you know. And it's going to tell you what do you need to do in order to fix the problem. But see, a lot of people are intimidated by the mirror. A lot of people are intimidated and they think that people who tell them the truth, they're mean and you're not caring about my feelings and all this other crap, you know what I'm saying? But this is what most people need to live by. Because let me tell you something, and I'm going to warn you right now, I don't hold back. And I just give it the way I feel it. If you don't like it, we got comments and you can tell me what you think. And we can talk about that. But one thing that I say is that I was watching a documentary, and it was on Katrina, and I just watched it on HBO this past weekend. Interesting, right? And it's filmed from the point of view of this female who stays back during a storm. First mistake, stays back, but she stays back because she can't afford to move. Okay, I mean to evacuate. I'm sorry, not move, evacuate. Okay, so she stays back. Meanwhile, the water's getting, higher and higher and higher to the point where they're in the attic. And a boat comes. They manage to get a boat. They're in this boat. They get this boat and they kind of, bring everybody to higher ground. And meanwhile, they're like trying to call for backup, and the government's not sending anybody because they're like, look, the storm is still going on. We're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait and see what happens first, and then we'll send some reinforcements in. Now, before I get into whether the government was bad and all this other kind of stuff, I want to say something. And first of all, I want to tell you before I even get into it, some people put this as a black or white issue. One, I don't get down with the whole black thing, white thing, whatever. People are people, okay? So here's the deal. What I saw was a person, right, that was in a situation where they put themselves in. Hear me out. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to reveal something to you people right now on YouTube. You're going to have emergencies in your life from this day forward until you die. I promise you. I can 100% promise you you're going to have an emergency in your life. The question you have to ask yourself, are you ready for it? Are you prepared? When you buy rims, when you buy these expensive Xbox 360s that are brand new, or plasmas or whatever, then you put them on credit cards and taking lavish trips and all this other kind of stuff, you're not preparing yourself. If you don't have the emergency fund in place, you're killing yourself. Okay, so what I have to say about this is this. When someone gave the word for mandatory evacuation, there were some people that weren't able to leave because they didn't prepare for the emergencies. Meanwhile, this girl that was getting interviewed, right, that was doing a documentary, she claims, hey, I was a dope dealer, I used to do things bad, I used to make $500, $600 a day. Okay, so my question is to that, illegal activity, totally right? But my question is to that, what were you doing with the $500, $600? Because in the house, there was 5 to 7 people living in that home. Okay, so it comes down to the point so one has sympathy. Now, don't get me wrong. There were people who were elderly in that situation. They couldn't help themselves. So in that case, totally understood. You have no argument with me about the elderly. But one thing I would say about this whole Katrina thing, and a lot of people are afraid to say it, but I'm not, is that everybody was pointing the finger at someone else instead of themselves. Okay? Because it's hard to swallow the truth. The thing about it is that these people had jobs. If they didn't have jobs, what were they doing up until the time before Katrina even came? What were they doing 3-4 years ahead of time? Were they reading financial books? Were they trying to get into schools? Were they victims of society saying, well, I just have to do this. I just have to sell these drugs. I just have to do this or whatever. But what were they doing with the money when they were making it? Because if you put yourself in the old pity party, all of a sudden what would happen is your life would just be completely negative. Because meanwhile, when you could be spending that time doing something productive and bettering your life, you're totally putting yourself down and staying where you are because all you're doing is, oh, poor me, I can't do this, and the government has the chains on me here, and I can't do this, and whatever. Boo-hoo. Okay? Because until you start taking responsibility for your own self, America and the world, right? You're not going to change your situation because I'm going to tell you why. When you're born by yourself. When you die by yourself. It's all about you. When you're in an airplane and the plane is getting ready to go down, before the plane goes down, or if the pressure was to be released on the airplane, you have to put the oxygen mask on your face first before you can assist someone else. Take care of yourself first, then you can take care of other people. Right? But stop blaming other people for your inability to achieve. It's not their fault. It's not George Bush's, Barack Obama's, or anyone else's fault if you don't succeed. What are your conversations like in a day? What are you talking about? Are you talking about riffraff? Are you talking about which music video is the best? You know, which TV show is coming on, Desperate Housewives or whatever? What are you doing in your own life to be better than douchebag? You know, and forgive the passion that I have in this, but this is my passion. You know, my passion is changing my life, helping other people with money, helping myself by helping other people learn the subject of money. And this is something that people need to understand. So I'm going to lay off a little bit right now, just give you a dose. But let me see your comments. Subscribe to the channel. I'm always going to bring you stuff like this. Let me know your thoughts. Signing off.